Hello everyone, my name is Ilya and I'm glad to welcome you to the Look Autumn 2021 show. Today is a quite exciting day for us since this is the first event of this format in our history. And we sincerely hope that it will be dynamic, informative and with the maximum benefit for each of you. I assure you will not spend these tens of minutes in vain, guys. Well, the last 2 years have been a real challenge for all of us, both personally and in terms of business. But that taught us a lot, didn't it? For example, in fact that we can work remotely from home and still remain a team. Even if you don't put your pants during the weekly Zoom meeting with your colleagues, perhaps this time is exactly the time when it's necessary to show the strong character, determination and in spite of everything move forward, step by step, day after day. And I'm proud that the Look DS team showed these qualities to the fullest, and despite all the difficulties, including the distance between our three offices in Hungary, Russia and the US, remain a single team that gives a high quality result. And today we would love to share this result with you, our dear customers and subscribers. During the show, my colleagues will tell you about the news of their departments and share some news plans. Looking ahead, I should say that the dev team has the largest amount of important news. It will be really cool. That's why the first person to whom I would like to give the floor will be our CTO, Dmitry Tupikin. Dima, fire it up.
Hi everyone. Despite the popular belief that the most important news should be left to last, we decided to start with the hottest one. It's not a secret for any of you that Android has always been the main client platform in the Look, because we believe that this operation system is the future due to extreme flexibility and functionality. Also, one cannot discount the relative availability and, what is important, affordability of digital signage hardware powered by Android, both the screens themselves and the controlling media players. Precisely because of our focus on the OS, we were able to create a truly reliable and effective solution that helps many of you in your daily work. And this is what mostly has prevented us from creating client application for our operation system for quite a long time. However, times are changing and we understand that in order to meet your needs better and become an even more flexible tool for your project, we must move forward and expand the line of our software players. And today, I'm happy to present you a completely new Look cross-platform engine, along with a software player for Windows-based devices. Since now, you can test or make a full use of our service on any device running Windows starting from version 10. Let's see how this player works in case you, let's say, decided to test Look's possibilities, but do not have a single screen or device at hand that you could use for that purpose. No problem. Just install the Windows player directly on your computer or laptop and turn it into a remotely managed digital signage. In order your computer to work both in screen mode and in CMS mode, we create an additional window and install our application there. In the main window, let's open Look Content Manager, using any browser you want, and having received the 6-digit code, add our first screen. It remains only to compile and send a playlist on it. Now, let's look at the second window, which works as a test screen, and we see that our content has already started to play. Perfect. Surely, this is not the main use case for our new player. Its main purpose is to give our customers an ability to power their digital displays using robust and powerful Windows-based PC boxes like this one, for example, or such commonly used devices like Intel Compute Stick or Intel NUC. For us, this is a really important moment, since we have been going for this for a very long time. First of all, trying to preserve Look's proprietary reliability, and I assure you, we have fully succeeded. I would call this player our firstborn on the way to full cross-platform, because similar products for Linux, OS X, Tizen and WebOS are already on the way. And according to our estimates, this will allow us to cover up to 90% of digital signage hardware market, which in our opinion sounds positive and extremely promising.
Thank you, Dmitry. This is a very cool update that opens up a new amazing prospects both for us and for our clients. But as you may guess, this is not all the news that we have prepared for you today. But first thing first, let me introduce you to a person who is responsible for ensuring that our CMS, while growing the new functionality, remains a simple and convenient tool for which you appreciate it. Kindly meet our Head of Product Design, Alexander Mahalov. Alex, you have the floor.
Hello everyone! In my turn, I would like to tell you about another long-awaited feature, the release of which we have been postponing for a long time for various reasons. We call this Layouts 3.0, and to put it simply, this is a new, more advanced version of the layouts already existing in our management system. For those who are not yet familiar with it, I will explain literally in a nutshell. This function allows you to create playback layouts by dividing the screen into several areas and adding different content items to each of them. In addition, your layout can be designed multi-layered using various interactive elements. In fact, as they say, it's better to see it once. I have my colleague Gabriel in touch. Why don't you make a short overview for us on how it works?
So hi everyone, yes. Today I'd like to show you how to create an interactive project using the updated Layout 3.0 feature right in the Look CMS, based on a completed example. During the creation of such a scenario, you'll need to use a single line of program code. The whole project was created using the Layout Designer direct in the Look service in a matter of minutes. To design such a scenario, first of all, you need to create a new layout. That's the first step. To do this, I go to the Layout section and create a new project. Then, I add a new layer that is going to contain the logo and the main menu. In the right part of the screen, the playlist is going to be played. To add the logo, let's use the image widgets, okay? So I've prepared all the required graphics in advance, and now I am simply uploading it to use it in our project. There are only two buttons, okay, for the main menu, and I also add them to the layer and set them according to the design layout. For now, we're not going to add any content to these buttons because, creating the layout is the most important thing for us during this stage. So we're not adding the content yet. The second step is creating the additional scenes for our project. So to create a new scene, use the menu located right under the canvas. We can create a completely new empty scene or copy the previous one. Well, now I'm just going to copy. So I don't need the logo and the buttons of the main scene, I delete them. In order to always be able to return to the main page, add the back button and use our own graphics on it. Of course, we're going to use the main scene as content for this button. To do so, you need to switch the tab to Scenes and select the main scene as a target content in the additional sidebar of the content section. So then I want to add the cards of goods. After clicking them, large images of the goods will open in the right part of the screen. Add the button again and select and load my image to set your own graphics for this button. Select the target content, which is going to open after clicking the button. Then we should select the place in which the set content is going to open. By default, the content will open to the entire screen. we can select the scene and the certain layer in which we would like the content to be opened. So next step, I just copy the button and change the graphics and the target content for it. Let's see. Now I only have to create the final scene with the contacts. I copy the current scene one more time and remove everything unnecessary from this side layer. Then select the previously prepared image as the content for this layer and justify the back button. Instead of the playlist, the interactive map which I added using the embedded code app is going to be located in the right part of the screen. So the next step is connecting the buttons to the scenes. Actually, we've already performed this operation when setting the back button, but let's do it again. Use the Show All Scenes button to see all the scenes of your project and quickly shift between them. Okay, so let's return to the main scene. Select the button and set the corresponding scene as its target content. Let's do the same for the second button. So sometimes you need to quickly close the open content or scene. You can use the closing button to do so. After activating the closing button, you'll see the content or scene which this button should close. In the closing button setup mode, only this button remains editable. So to return to the previous scene, click the back to scene button, and don't forget to save your project. You can also see the list of all your scenes in the general settings of your layouts. So now, congratulations, our interactive project has been completed. And now we only have to send it to the screen. To do so, go to the Screens section and select the one to which you want to apply this scenario. Click the Configure Layout icon in the playlist menu. Select the required layout and click the Use Layout button in the open side panel from the drop-down list. So that's it. Now we can enjoy the result of our work on our touch monitor. So, and this is all I wanted to show you now.
Thanks, Gabriel. Impressive case. Now it's obvious that Layout 3.0 is actually a simple and efficient way to create multi-layered interactive scenarios, and it's definitely able to save your time and, even more importantly, your money. In fact, you create a fully featured multi-purpose web page for interaction with your target audience right in the interface of your content management system. Well, let's move on. And next in line is another, this time completely new function that takes Look's possibilities for external integration with third-party resources to a completely new level. We call it Actions. And I tell you, it's a bomb, guys. To put it simply, action is the ability to temporarily or permanently change the state of the layout. For example, data of widgets, layers, or location of new content. Using an external API, events can be triggered remotely by execution of requests or by integration inside of the Zapier platform. If it's not very clear yet, the use case prepared by us will definitely put everything in its place. Gabriel, it's your turn again.
So meet New Actions tool as one more powerful feature of the Look service. From now on, you can show, hide and change content by external trigger. For example, updating the price in Google Sheets, you'll automatically update it on your screen, or like here, where an outdated promotion will be replaced with a new one on a schedule created in Google Calendar, and new MailChimp lead will immediately show you a greeting card, for example. But these are just a few examples, just quite a minor list of examples for these actions. And in fact, the opportunities are really endless, and the limit is really just your imagination. So integrate your favorite services with your digital signage system in order to automate the workflow to the extent possible. Let's see how it works first together. In the first example with the menu prices and their replacement through Google Sheets. That's what I've set up here. So to begin with, we create a new action in the Look CMS. I've already prepared the layout, as I've said, with the design for a board menu. It is simply a layer with a background image and lines of text with prices. To create a new action, open the same name tab in the sidebar and click the New Action button. Choose the modifier type and the text layer to be affected by the action. Okay, so to have a text changed by external request, enable the appropriate block. A data can come from an external source. In our case, it is a cell of a Google Sheets. You may set a default value to be shown for the case when trigger operates, but passes no data for the text box. That's possible as well. So the action setting up in the Look CMS is completed. Okay. Be sure to save this layout and assign it to a specific screen. Only then the action will correctly operate. So don't forget that step. The next step is to configure the trigger. My Google spreadsheet looks like this. It contains a fixed first line with headings and 2 columns titled Name and Price, which has synchronized Google Sheet with the Look CMS using the Zapier service. Let's create a new Zap and choose Google Sheets as a trigger and a new or updated spreadsheet row for a trigger event. Okay, now you need to log into your Google account. After you've logged in, you can find the desired table from your Google Sheets list, where you can also specify the way to a certain page and column. Now, let's test our trigger. Okay, fine. Everything's working properly. We obtained the required data from our table. Perfect. Very good. So now we can proceed to creating an event in Zapier. Press continue and using a search query, find the Look service in the list of applications. Select send action for the action event. For signing in the Look service, one needs to use the API key, which may be found in your company settings, copy and paste thereof, and then done. Find the further desired layout from the available list and choose an action. For the text contents, specify the cell there from the data will be taken, from which the data will be taken, and click continue to perform testing and make sure that everything is working as expected. Enable Zap, and then we're done. So the action work may be tested by changing the data in the Google Sheets cell. So let's change the seafood price in our Google Sheets and check the results in our layout in the Look CMS. Please note that the Zapier doesn't transmit data instantly. Request arrival time can reach up to 15 minutes. That's why sometimes you can't see the trigger action immediately. And furthermore, you cannot see changes in the Look CMS if timeout is enabled for action. So that's all about it. As you can see, it was not really difficult, not as difficult as it might have seemed in the beginning. So please share in the comments what working flow tools you would like to synchronize with our digital signage system, and we'll try to show you how to do that in the future videos. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Gabriel. I'm sure after your clarifications, the guests of our event really no longer have any question about this functionality and already have some great ideas for using it in their own projects. That's all for me, Ilya.
Thank you guys for the great news and beautiful cases. These two features definitely make work with the content in our system much more efficient, giving our users better tool for implementation of their most daring ideas. But these are not all new features, my friends. Let's take a look at the brief overview of some of the less global updates that recently have appeared in our service.
I would like to start with this overview with one of the most anticipated features, the request for which was perhaps one of the most frequent among our users. This is a screenshot. So now you have an ability to get the actual statuses on what is currently playing on your screens in real-time mode. So moreover, you can schedule the screenshots to be made for a specific time of the day, which is convenient. We would definitely call it the next level of proof of play, so please enjoy. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our significantly updated weather app, with which you can place weather forecasts from anywhere in the world right into your screens, significantly updated. This is a brand new app, so it's not just updated, it's brand new. It looks brilliant on the screen. To compare, this is what we had before, and here, this is what we have now. To me, the difference is obvious. So, moreover, it is worth noting that this new app is fully adaptive, thanks to which, when creating playback layouts, for example, you can place it in any area of the screen without any display distortion. A few words about some of the applications. Some of the applications which have also been recently updated, both in terms of improving the visual display on the screen and in terms of the level of adaptability. Check out our Instagram, Twitter, or RSS. They were reborn and now look, I would say, much cooler. So,
well, that's probably all about the novelties. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure you will find something useful for your business among them. However, our event does not end with this. It's time to move from the dev announcements to marketing and sales news. And here we also have something to share with you. Isn't that right, Roman?
Sure thing. Hi everyone, my name is Roman and I am Head of Sales and Marketing at Look. And today I'd like to share some new steps that we are taking in our daily work in order to make your experience with Look even more convenient and efficient than before. I'm sure many of you are constantly faced with the problem of selecting hardware for a particular software solution or vice versa. How to not be mistaken? How can you make sure that the software and hardware parts of the comprehensive solution will interact with each other perfectly and will not let you down at the most crucial moment? Really daunting task, frankly. Especially if we are talking about hardware powered by Android, with its huge number of options within the market and an even more impressive difference in quality from device to device. That's why, in order to make it easier for you to choose hardware within your local markets, in recent months we began to actively cooperate with many Android-based hardware manufacturers and arrange stress testing for their devices here in our lab in Budapest. And I would like to underline that we are not doing formal tests. These are real stress testing with complex scenarios based on high-resolution content items and online dynamic feeds. Thanks to this, as a result, we can guarantee that this hardware will work perfectly with our software, and subject to the recommended conditions of use, you will have absolutely no problem with such a solution. Based on the results of the most interesting test, we filmed detailed video reviews, which you can watch on our official YouTube channel. We placed the rest of the tested devices on our website in the players section. So among the hardware which we recommend, you can find such widely distributed options as Android TVs by Philips or Sony, NVIDIA Shield, Google Chromecast, Xiaomi Mi Box, Amazon Fire Stick, and many others. Moreover, as you probably know, we have our own line of powerful plug-and-play media players, from the reliable and affordable HD2214 to the recently updated HD2220 with 4G connectivity. Also, last year we presented our flagship 6-core HD2218 Pro with true 4K support, which has proven itself around the world over the past year as the perfect solution for the complex project with multi-layered layouts and 4K videos. Furthermore, not so long ago, we created an online store with our players for your convenience. So now, in order to purchase a test device or a small batch, you absolutely do not need to contact our sales team, which undoubtedly speeds up and simplifies the process. However, at this particular moment, I would like to hand it over to one of our sales team members. This is Viktor Morozov, and he's responsible for the interaction with the global network of our partners. Hey Vic, what's new?
Hi Roman, and hello everyone. Yeah, as we say, there is always news in our rapidly changing sphere. I'm sure that among the guests of our show, there are not only end users of our product, but also a considerable number of entrepreneurs involved in the AV business that integrate comprehensive digital signage solutions for their clients. And I know for sure that thanks to their inexhaustible energy and desire to keep up with the rapidly developing market, these people are constantly looking for new and more effective products with which they can solve the tasks of their customers at a high level. Well, Look Partner Program was created exactly for them. It helps distributors, integrators, and resellers around the world to provide high-quality service to their customers, earning money with us. And today, we already have more than 60 authorized partners in more than 40 countries globally. The current program has two levels, Standard and White Label. The first option will be an excellent choice for partners who are just trying their hand at the digital signage market or are integrating complex projects based on products from various manufacturers and vendors. It contains the availability of permanent partner discount from our online prices, work with a personal account manager, training and certification. The process of entering the program at this level is simplified as much as possible. It's just necessary to sign the NDA, undergo a short training on how to work with the CMS and pass a simple assessment. In its turn, the white label level will certainly be more interesting for those who are already promoting or initially planning to promote a set of services and solutions for their clients under the umbrella of their own brand. Taking this option, you will get a CMS interface with your logo and the main color on your domain name. At the same time, all of this will be still hosted on the Look servers. This option, in fact, allows you to launch your own digital signage service without any significant investments and sell it to your customers with any value added, while also using the increased partner discount which we provide. To learn more on how to enter the white label level, please get in touch with me at your convenience via email or WhatsApp. I'm sure our conditions will pleasantly surprise you. I would also like to note that both levels of the partner program give you an access to the convenient partner admin account, which allows you to independently manage your balance, create and delete client sub-accounts, change their plans, and so on. Well, looks like that is all I was going to tell you. Thanks for your attention. Looking forward for your questions and inquiries. See you.
Thanks, Victor. We really do make a special focus on the development of our partner network and see great prospects both for ourselves and for our partners in this area. So, we are moving on, and now I suggest you to take a look behind the scenes of our wonderful support chat, the operators of which help our clients solve emerging problems around the clock. Let's get to know one of them right now.
Yes, Roman. How can I help you?
Our guest from around the world and I just wanted to say hi and ask a little about the details of your daily work.
Sure. We conduct on average from 10 to 30 dialects per day. Basically, we are approached by users who are not clear how this or that functionality works and how to make one or another action. Most of the issues are resolved within few minutes. However, there are more complicated cases. For example, my longest chat lasted more than 3 hours, but lucky me, we still managed to solve the client's problem. After all, this is why we're here. By the way, recently we have added the knowledge base section to our website, where you can find out details on operation of any feature in our service, really comfortably. However, in my opinion, for our users it is important to know that at any time they can get help here and now, without mailing support and waiting for response during several days. Well, for us, of course, the main thrilling work is when a person manages to help without creating a ticket for our tech support guys.
Thanks, Jane. You are doing really important work. Well, let's not distract you anymore. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Well, Ilya, actually my part has come to an end, as well as our entire event, as far as I understand. Am I right?
Yes, you're totally right. The only one thing I would like to specify that all the new features mentioned within this event will become available in our service since the beginning of 2022. And this is all for today. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please do not hesitate to share your thoughts concerning such kind of events in the comments to this live or via email. This is really important for us because we are going to arrange our shows on a regular basis, and your feedback will be definitely help us to make it better. Thanks for watching. Bye and take care.